Happy New Year! I hope everyone had an amazing 2024. I wanted to make a video covering how much I made renting out my Lamborghini Huracan on Turo, as I've had quite a few people who are curious about that. Some of them were curious about it because they wanted to see if it was worth it for them to rent their own cars out or potentially even buy a car to rent out. If you are interested in that, but you don't have the time to rent it out yourself, or you just want someone else to handle the rentals, consider using the business that I just started, Rhino Exotic Rentals. You provide the car, we handle the rentals, you make money. Leave the rentals to the experts who've been doing it for years. If you're interested at all, just shoot a DM to @RhinoExoticRentals on Instagram, and we'll provide you more information there. Before I get into the bulk of this video, the main information that you guys are wanting to hear, there are 4 important things that you need to remember about this information that I'm about to present. First off, I only started renting this car out in June of 2024. I didn't buy the car to rent it out. It was kind of a later decision that I made, and so I only rented it out from June through December. So these numbers only represent that fact. However, it's not something that you can just easily extrapolate that information out to calculate how much I could have earned, because January and February and even March are all pretty low earning months, while April and May are kind of ramping back up to the normal volume of rentals. So it's a little bit challenging to estimate how much I could have made if I had rented it out for the whole year. Secondly, this car was unavailable for rent for most of August and even a good portion of September, which are 2 of the better grossing months for rentals, especially exotic rentals, especially ones that are a soft top convertible. This, of course, was because the car, I took it in to get serviced, and unfortunately the detailer at the shop put a hole in the front bumper, so the car was down for over a month while I was getting that repaired. That was all lost rental income that will unfortunately be affecting these numbers. Thirdly, up until December of 2024, I didn't price the car to rent. Essentially, I priced it low to start to get some rentals on the car, and then I increased the price without having any intention of decreasing it. As a result, it was priced essentially too high for the months of fall and early winter, so November actually had no rentals. That was on my part, that was my fault, and it's lesson learned, so I know how to adjust the price accordingly if I want to rent it out more. Now, I'm not intending to rent it out a ton. There are people who literally have specific rental cars that they plan to rent out all the time, so you can price it accordingly. So there is still some room left for me to figure out how to price this so that it's not being rented too much, but it's being rented a good amount to supplement the income, since I don't drive the car a ridiculous amount. And this is one thing that's great about renting your car through Rhino Exotic Rentals is you have the power to choose if you want it being rented a lot to bring in as much revenue as possible, or if you want to have a higher price so it's rented out less, but that way it's still generating some revenue. And then fourth, what's not included in these numbers that I'm about to present is that I do some off of Turo called direct rentals of the car due to some of the restrictions that exist with Turo. These restrictions include the fact that you have to be 30 plus to rent on Turo, but people who are under 30 can have full coverage car insurance, as well as the fact that on Turo, if you want to rent the car for 3 hours, you still have to pay for a full day, whereas I think it's a better business model to allow people to rent for shorter periods. If they want to rent the car for 1 hour for a dinner date, or they want to rent it for 3 hours to have maybe a nice dinner and then go for a cool drive afterwards, then they're able to do that. So I have made some money off of Turo that's not going to be included in these numbers that I'm about to present. That said, I earned a total of $18,592 for the months that I rented out the car. This not only covered the entire cost of ownership and all the service and maintenance and everything, but it also brought me some profit on top of it. So factoring in car payment, insurance, service and maintenance increases because you're renting out, the car is being driven more, you're renting out the car more, I profited a little over $5,000 on the year for renting this car out. Considering the factors that I mentioned before, I'm actually really happy with this number. It's solid profit considering all of those factors, including the fact that I only rented it out for about half the year. So I'm expecting 2025 to be a lot better. Not to mention the fact that a lot of people who are interested in renting their cars out aren't going to have a car payment. They own the car outright and their car's just sitting there. So the profit on those cars would be much, much higher. Because of everything I learned in 2024 renting out my first official supercar, I know 2025 is going to be much better, and this is why I'm looking to add another supercar to the fleet. The more cars I have, the more likely I am to make really good money from this, and that's why I'm growing this business on the side. The Rhino Exotic Rentals business is because I really enjoy doing this. I have a lot of fun renting these cars out. I love sharing the experience of letting people drive a supercar, seeing their reactions, seeing how happy it makes them for something as simple as driving a car like this for a day. So here's to 2025 being an even better year for the rental game. Again, if you're interested in making money from having your car rented out, be sure to reach out to us at Rhino Exotic Rentals on Instagram to get more information. We can help talk you through everything and give you a better understanding of what all of it entails. This is especially important for people who might have a nice car that's just sitting in their garage collecting dust. Instead of letting it sit there, maybe consider having it rented out for you so you can generate extra income while your car is not being driven by you. But that's all I have to cover. I hope this information was helpful for some of you. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a nice day.